Let's talk about QNT. Can 54 QNT make you a millionaire by 2025? Let's jump into it, guys. So, for me, QNT has been part of my diversified portfolio for the last couple of years now, and I'm happy to say that I've accumulated enough to the point where I am completely happy with the position, starting in 2023 and throughout 2024, and completely done with it. And I wanted to kind of give you an understanding of why I've decided to go with QNT and if it really can make you a millionaire with only 54 coins by 2025. But before we jump into it, guys, there's a quick disclaimer here. Please read this with care. This video is not financial advice. Crypto is volatile and highly risky. No results are guaranteed. This content is for experienced users only, and there's a full legal disclaimer in the description below. So, QNT, before we get into the core, guys, we just got to look at a few things here which are very, very interesting. And the first one is that it has a relatively low market cap, sitting at 1.3 billion, compared to a lot of the large caps, the Solanas, the ADAs, especially the XRPs out there. So this indicates it's got a lot of potential to grow compared to a lot of the larger caps. The second thing as well is the total supply sitting at 14.4 million. And when we compare that to something like Bitcoin, which the key value as well in Bitcoin is that it's very, very scarce. It's only 21 million Bitcoin. It's essentially a race to get all the Bitcoin, right? So here it's 14.4 million. So this is a really, really scarce asset. So this is very, very interesting to me and indicates a lot of potential for value. So you might be like, well, Tuki, what's the point of QNT? Why can it do well? So let me try and explain it here, guys. So Quant essentially connects different blockchains and systems so they can work together, which is interoperability, and it runs on a technology called Overledger, which acts as an operating system for blockchains. And its use case is, guys, that it helps banks and governments as well as companies to connect their existing blockchain without needing to rebuild anything. And as a blockchain adoption increases across industries, Quant's ability to bridge systems could make it an essential infrastructure. So this is why it falls under the real world asset category for crypto. And for me, what I really like about this is that it's not a fad. It's a business that's actually generating revenue, and it's something that's doing something. They're not just planning on doing something. No, they're actually doing something, which is amazing, because a lot of coins might be talking about, oh, we're going to do this, oh, we're planning on doing that, but this is actually doing something. This is really, really key. So when I look into a crypto, something that I really want to understand before getting into it is who actually founded it and what's their experience? Why should I trust in this project? Well, let me explain to you what I've seen with Quant. So we've got Gilbert here. Again, he has been working in cybersecurity for over 20 years, and he's worked for the government in the UK, HM Treasury, and he's also worked for MasterCard. He's worked for EY, PwC, HSBC. So here are some absolutely massive companies. This guy has got a lot of experience working for some massive companies, and this is really key. And they also have a stacked team of a lot of other individuals, which I haven't put up here. But for me, this personally is a massive tick. I really like the fact that there's a good team. This is amazing. This is what, for me, you want to see. Again, proof and long track record. Like I briefly touched on earlier, it falls under the real world asset narrative. Essentially, it's the same as other successful coins that we've seen, such as the H bars, the avalanches, and it's bullish because it allows real world assets like real estate, bonds, as well as commodities to be tokenized on chain, which increases the trust, unlocks new source of liquidity, and attracts traditional investors who see practical value beyond speculation. That does sound like a lot of jargon, but this is a lot of the use case that Quant has. So as well, tokenomics, something which is often overlooked in my opinion, but here it's so important, and I wanted to kind of put it into some perspective here of how scarce QNT really is, like I mentioned before, compared to Bitcoin. So if the US population right now is sitting at 340 million and there's 14.8 million QNT tokens, that means that only 4.3% of Americans can own one QNT. So if everyone in the US tried to buy QNT right now, only 4% of people would be able to, which is unbelievable, right? I think this is a really, really bullish asset here for Quant in terms of its long-term potential. So we'll talk about where can QNT actually go and what did it achieve. So Quant previously hit 4.7 billion in the previous market, which is not massively high, but it's still quite a lot higher than where it is sitting at the moment. So at the 1.3 billion. So to me, this indicates, like I mentioned, a good opportunity, and let's work out where it can go. So here, if we compare it to some large caps, Cardano hit 93 billion last run, which is a very, very high number compared to QNT, right? And then we also look at where Solana went last run back in 2021. That hit 71 billion. Again, very, very high numbers compared to what Quant had at the just over the 4 billion mark. So if Quant was able to hit just a quarter of what ADA achieved last cycle, that would give it a total of a $23 billion market cap. And for me, an 18x from current standings with Quant. And this is not necessarily can make you a millionaire just from the 54 Quant here, but it essentially means that you can get some incredibly good returns if it can just get a quarter of what ADA did in the last run. And when we compare that to traditional stocks at 7 to 10% a year, this is an unbelievable return. You wouldn't be able to fathom that in the stock market. So when it comes to becoming a millionaire, it's good, it can get you on the journey, but I don't believe that Quant this run can get you to that millionaire status. But what you can do is funnel this money into other coins, because we understand how the money flow works. We look at Quant, we say, okay, you can take profits as it goes up, and then we know how the money flows. It goes from Bitcoin, then traditionally goes down into Ethereum, and then goes into the smaller caps. So if you're able to play it smart, you can make a lot more money. But saying this, you can still make a lot of money with QNT this run. So hopefully this has provided you with some value, and thank you very much, guys.